Yep, start on your backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. You got it. Lay down, soles of the feet come together. Connect to a breath that works. So inhalation through the nose. Close your eyes for a second. And then on the exhale breath, exhale through your mouth and let your whole body just kind of drop. When you're here in this position, feel your lower back down on the mat. Feel even the arches of your feet press together and let your thighs drop open more. The shoulder blades melt down, the neck is neutral. And then seal your lips and begin the breath of Ujjayi breath. Inhalation is through the nose, and exhalation is through the nose. Let the air just kind of slip through the back of the throat. And like I was just saying, give yourself permission this morning on the mat to do what you need to do to make this practice work for you. So I'd call it the IEP of yoga, so the individual educational plan of yoga. Bend your legs in half, take your feet flat to the floor. This is where you're gonna need a block or a pillow or something that resembles. If not, I'll show you what to do. The left leg's gonna bend up to a 90-degree angle. The block's gonna go here on the top of the thigh. If you don't have a block, you'll just use your palm. The forearm, my right forearm is now gonna rest on the front of this block, like this, okay? The right leg is now gonna lift up towards the sky to a 90-degree angle. If this is too much for you this morning, do this with the left leg bent down on the ground. Left arm reaches back like you're gonna go swimming in the pool. Keep pressing your right forearm into the block. Keep that shape there, strong flex of the foot. Reach the left arm towards the right toes and pause. Good. Then you're gonna begin to lengthen everything. And if you can, you're gonna hover everything from the ground. So the left arm reaches back and the right leg reaches forward. And then you're gonna pull it up again and tap the finger to the toe. Good. And then you're gonna lower really, really slow. See if you can hover and then pull it back up. Good. See if you can tap the toe. Try it again. Lower everything, create a lot of space, isolate the core, the obliques, pull it back up. 3 more. Lower really, really slow, create more space, pull it back up. 2 more. Lower everything, hover, pull it back up. 1 more. Lower everything, let it hover, pull it back up, try and tap, release the leg. Bend the right leg, take the right block, the block now on the right thigh. Left forearm goes onto the block, the pillow. You can also just use your hand or the foot can go flat. Left leg extends straight up. Right arm reaches back like you're swimming. Pause. Press a lot of energy into your block. Reach with your right fingertips to your left toes. Good. Try and do that. So you're almost lifting the shoulder blade, scooping out the belly. Lower everything and hover. Pause. Pull it back up. Try and tap. Lower everything on that side and that arm and hover. Pull it back up. Try it again. Lower everything and hover. Pull it back up. 3 more. Nice and slow, reach in opposite directions. Pull it back up. You got it. 2 more. The slower you go, the more you'll get. Hover. Pull it back up. Lower it down. 1 more time. Pull it back up. Try and tap. Good. Release the block, bend the legs. Relax the shoulders, take the palms flat to the ground, like slide them down to the front edge of your mat. Create a 90-degree angle with your legs. Slide the hands, lift the shoulders. Good. Inhale the breath. You're going to start to pull yourself up to a supported boat. It looks like this. The hands go flat, the belly draws in. The legs create kind of a shape of a box. Yeah. Thigh bones draw towards the navel. Hands go flush to the ground. Upper collarbone can broaden. Drishti, your focal point is just forward. Look at your toes, spark up your toes. Press more energy into your hands, into the ground. More breath. If this does not work for you this morning, feet can just be down. This is an option right here. Do less, okay? Stay with this. A few more breaths. Broaden the collarbones, broaden the chest, draw the thighs towards the navel, sit up a little taller. Take another big breath in. Press the hands firmly into the mat. Cross the ankles like this. Plant the hands, step to a downward facing dog. You're like, thank God. Spread the palms wide and set yourself up here. Take up a lot of space in your downward facing dog, everyone. Hands are almost as wide as the mat. Index fingers are forward. Feet are about hip width distance apart. You may need to bend behind your knees in here today. If your lower back is sensitive, you may even need a deeper bend. Let your hips lift up off your shoulders. Let your head go. Allow your breath to let you run a lot of energy through your body this morning. Sometimes it's just getting to the mat, breathing and moving that allows for us to continue throughout our day. Spread our toes really wide, access the front of the shins. There's a gentle drawing in of your navel, a movement of your shoulders away from you. Yeah, so we want to make sure we're not collapsing into those shoulders. Perfect. Firm up the outer arms. Nancy, alignment this morning looks great. Hips nice and high. Sometimes just holding yourself up here in the beginning part of the practice is the most challenging part. Arrive. Plug down to create more space for yourself this morning. Roll forward to plank. You could take every single plank position today with your knees down and give yourself extra TLC. This works. You can begin to feel your body growing stronger even with your knees down. Contract your thighs. Let your waist pull up enough that your hips aren't saggy. Your eyes move forward to the front skinny edge of the mat, and we breathe together. An energetic flow from crown of the head to the base of your heels and vice versa. Stay with it. Plug down to create more space. A feeling that you're pulling the mat away, pulling it apart. Contract the thighs, move a little bit more energy onto your tippy toes. The screen did not freeze, you're still holding plank. Keep your eyes to the front edge of your mat, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, or support with your knees down. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position, just do your best with that. Nice work, hips up and back, downward facing dog. On an inhale breath, lift your right leg up high. If you've got any objects in the way, people or furniture, just be mindful. Lift from your inner thigh and make sure that your hips stay nice and square. Firm up the outside of your arms. Let your head just be neutral. Contract your left thigh bone. Scissor the inner thighs. So breathe a lot of space into both your legs. Bend your right leg in half, create a 90-degree angle. Come high on your left toes, as high as you can. Lift your right thigh without the hip opening. Lift from the thigh bone, lift from the hip, lift from the glute. But keep everything very squared so you're not opening. Keep the lift of your right thigh. Don't let it drop. Start to lower your left heel closer to the ground. It may or may not get closer. You just try your best. Re-straighten your right leg. Point your toes. Roll forward to plank. Hug your right knee in towards your navel. Scoop out your belly. See if you can get your knee and your forehead to touch this morning. Do your best work. Hollow out your abdominal wall. Modify if you need. Look in between your hands. Land your right foot forward and through. Let it come directly in between your hands this morning. So it's like you're on a tightrope. Turn your back foot on a strong angle, such as I'm doing. Pull up on the front of your shin or reach for a block and take triangle pose very early here. From the ground up. Yeah. And if you need to reset, you just pull yourself up, you work out your alignment, and you come back. Your right foot is forward. Your outer right hip grips in. Nice. This is not a back bend, everyone. Be very mindful of your back in this pose. Yeah, you want to keep the sides of your body extremely long. Fire up the sides of your legs, your feet, from the ground up, or creating that space. And energize yourself here. Look up with your eyes. Let your right shoulder slide down into your back. Grip your outer hips in and just be still. You'll notice your thoughts kind of coming and going. Stay with it. Look down with your eyes. Circle the hands to frame your right foot. Peel your left heel. Walk your right foot to the right, guys, so it's hips width distance. Tense your left fingertips or slide a block underneath your hand. Peel your right arm open. Go right here into an easy twist. Focus on your outer right hip. Wrap it underneath you. Fire up your back left leg so it's so strong. It's like a plank position. Twist from above your belly button. And breathe as you move that upper torso very gently from above that belly button. Look up. Another big breath in. Stay with it. Look down. Take the right hand to the floor. Drop the knee. Slide the kneecap back about an inch. Keep the toes curled into the mat. Left palm's going to line up with your right toes. Fingertips nice and aligned here. Right arm reaches back. This may be as far as you go for this morning's practice, or bend the knee and grab the foot from the outside. Flex the foot if you want to activate the psoas more. Look back with your eyes a little bit and breathe right here. Practice gripping your right hip in. Keep your right foot forward. Firm up the outer part of your left arm. Press firm into the mat so your chest can stay nice and lifted, but you can begin to create a gentle twist. If grabbing your right foot doesn't work for you, just simply reach back with the right arm and create the same sensation. Another big breath. Let go of your foot. Good. What's going to happen here is your left palm's going to stay down. Your left leg's going to pivot out. We're going to go into a modified side plank. My left hand actually had to scoop in. Bottom knee and hip line up, right arm up. Modified side plank. Everybody take it this way today. With the right leg very strong, lift up out of your waist. Now, this is optional, but you're going to toe tap. So you're going to bring your right big toe down to the ground, and from your inner thigh, from your core, start to lift it back up to hip height. You're going to squeeze your outer hip. Try it again. Very slow. Tap the big toe. From the outer hip, from the core, lift it back up. Flex the foot. One more time. Tap the big toe down to the ground. Lift it back up. Hold. Look down with your eyes. Right hand down. Plank position. Join me in plank. Bend your elbows in half. Halfway to a chaturanga. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Reset your down dog. I've somehow moved off my back mat. Lift your left leg up, hip height. Pause. So the beginning of the practice, very deliberate. Let the head hang soft. We don't know where our bodies have been. We've woken up. We're all over the place. We anticipate we can do nothing, almost. Lift from that inner thigh, broaden across the upper shoulders, and just feel. Let the breath run through your body, and try and think a little less. Bend at your left knee crease, flex the foot. Just do that much. This may be where you stop. Begin to fire up from your thigh bone, from your psoas, from your glute. Then come high on your right tippy toes. Try to move nothing, just lift and squeeze that thigh a little higher. Lift it a little higher without the hip opening. Then keep the lift of the leg and start to lower your right heel back down. Maybe it gets a little closer, maybe it doesn't. Pause. Coil in the ribs, draw the navel in. Keep everything the way that it is. Extend the leg. Yep. Point the left toes, roll forward, hug the knee to the navel in a plank. Round your spine, draw the knee a little closer. Grip the outer arms in, scoop out the belly. Activate your right leg more. Look forward with your eyes, land your left foot all the way forward in between your hands. It's like a tightrope. Come to your fingertips, pause for a second. Turn the back foot on a strong angle, and very slowly from the ground up, begin to straighten the legs. You may need to assess yourself and kind of reevaluate the pose here. Use your hand to your shin or a block. You can go super high with a block. You could take 2 blocks. You could feel really tight. This is a great way to take it too and just really focus on the side of your body. Maybe you need to tighten your stance. I'm going to play with a tighter stance, and then stack the 2 shoulders, look up a little with your eyes. You know what I like to play with here is pressing through the balls of my feet, but lifting my toes up a little, and then seeing if I can kind of create a little bit more of an energetic grip. And then replacing the toes back down. Stay with the breath. Try not to lean back into the lower spine. Couple more. See if you can lighten your thoughts. Look down, circle both hands to frame your front foot, peel your right heel, walk your left foot to the left, set up for an easy twist, use a block underneath your hand, stack the two shoulders. You can always take this with the back knee down, yeah. If your top arm is having difficulty opening up, hand can also be on your hip. So I like to give you lots of options. Bend deep into your front left thigh, not into the knee, grip your outer hip underneath you, twist from above your belly button. These look good, nice, Dara. More breath. Activate your back leg a little bit more. Look down with your eyes, place both hands down. Drop your knee, keep the toes curled, slide the thigh back a little. Right palm goes flat, it's gonna line up with your left toes, firm up your outer arm. Bend the left leg in half, reach back, and the right leg in half and grab with your left hand, excuse me. So if the right leg is bent, the left hand is reaching back. Simply can just be like this. It can be like this. It can be like this. Flex the foot if you want more. That's gonna give you more through the front side of your right thigh. Firm up your right arm. Stay up high this morning and twist. Look over your left shoulder a little. Another big breath in. If you grabbed your foot, simply just let that go. Good. Right hand's probably gonna need to scoot underneath the shoulder a little more. Right leg will pivot out. Hopefully you have the room into a modified side plank, bottom knee down. So what we're looking for is the knee is pretty much underneath the hip. Yeah, you may need to restack a little. Two shoulders stack, left arm up. Fire up from your inner thigh, flex the toes. If you want to toe tap with me, you can. It's a slow motion. The big toe is going to touch the ground nice and slow, working the outer hip this morning. Draw the navel in, lift it slowly back up, hip height, pause. Try it again very slowly. Tap the toe, lift it back up, use the core, use the side of the body. One more time, slowly tap the toe. I exhale, breath, pull it back up and hold. Look to the floor, meet me in a plank. Bend your elbows in half, slow push up. Right here, drop your knees if you need to. Drag yourself through your first up dog, point your toes. Smile, it only helps if you can. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Exhale all the breath out. Look to the top of the mat. You can just step your feet 1, 2 to get there. Long spine on the inhale breath. Hands can always rest on your shins. Remember, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up this morning. Drag your hands to prayer. Keep your hands at prayer. Turn your fingers out. Let your shoulders draw down your back. Close your eyes for a moment. Just feel. Open up the eyes. Slide the arms straight up. Look up with your eyes. Exhale, fold in half. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You're going to step to plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag yourself to a nice, clean, upward facing dog. Point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. In the moments you get to really be still, embrace them. Good. Look to the top of the mat. For this next one, just take a big step with your left foot. Follow your right foot to meet it. Come to the fingertips, long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Look up with your eyes. Dive in half over bent knees. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through your vinyasa. You never have to jump. If you do land with bent elbows, chaturanga. Up dog drags you through. Downward facing dog presses you back. Right foot steps forward, crescent lunge. Integrate your legs and just bring it up. Yep. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a clean up dog. Anchor the tops of the feet if you can. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your left foot forward, just a clean crescent lunge. Just bring it up, move the energy, awaken ourselves here. Hip points forward, activate your back leg, yeah. Pay attention to the little things. Hands come down to frame your front foot, step to a plank. Chaturanga, up dog. Fire up your thighs, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So right foot steps, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. If you've got an injury or something going on, you can just take crescent again. When I come up to my first crescent, I find I sometimes have warrior one. I mean, I have a little bit more space. So maybe you can slide your right foot a little bit more forward. Left ribs turn, left thigh turns, energetically reach up with your arms. And then where are you looking? Right. Notice if you're kind of like, eyes are darting around the room. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Step back plank. Bend your elbows in half. If you're going for the chaturanga, up dog drags you through. From here, hips up and back, downward facing. Slow warrior one. Left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, root to rise, warrior one. And then you take a second, like, do you need to make a bigger step, a tighter step? Right ribs wrap forward a little, right thigh turns forward. And then focus on the outer blade of your back foot. Sit a little deeper into your front thigh. Reach up a little bit more with your arms. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Vinyasa or not. At this point, you may choose to just skip these chaturangas and an up dog. You can always just go back to a downward facing dog and meet us there. Take a deep breath in. Take a loud exhale, breath out. Look where you want to go. You can step. Now, if you're ready, you can float. Feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold over yourself. Here we go, guys. Sit into chair. The honeymoon is over. Sit deep chair pose. Yeah, look forward with your eyes. Depending on your shoulder health, maybe your arms are open a little wider. Maybe it's in a little tighter or closer, but the goal is to have our arms straight. Press up to a standing position. Bring the hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. 3 sun bees together. Slide the arms up. Sit into chair pose. Just do your best. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, look forward a little. Step, step, or float through your vinyasa. So you can just step back to a dog pose too. When you get to your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, vinyasa or not. Breathe in your up dog. It's a new breath. Downward facing. Left foot lands, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Bring it back down, plank position. You can just hold plank too. Chaturanga, upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Now when you take your sun bees, ideally we'd hold here for 3 breaths. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Chair pose with excitement. Feel the weight in your heels. Feel your seat move back, and then use the strength of your legs to press to a standing position. Bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Slide the arms back up. Revisit chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head just go when you fold. Long spine, come to your fingertips. Step, step, or float through your vinyasa. Nice. When you get to dog, step your right foot forward. Find what works. Warrior one is what I'm taking here. Hands come down, vinyasa, if you're taking that. From your downward facing dog, you move your left leg forward. Back foot strong, warrior one. Hands back down, right to a dog, or clean it up for yourself. Meet me in a downward facing dog and hold. Plug the hands down, feel your outer arms wrap in. Breathe your hips a little bit more up off those shoulders. And then keep the arms nice and firm and straight. Look forward. You can step, you can float to the top. Long spine right here. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Move the weight back. Drop the seat a little deeper. And then press all the way up with control. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms. One more. Here we go. Slide the arms up. Sit again, chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float. If you're stepping, try and alternate your feet so you don't get used to the same way going back. Up dog. Downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot strong. Warrior one. Don't you feel so much better now? Yeah. Hands to the floor, vinyasa. It's all your mind. Upward facing. Downward facing, left foot lands, back foot strong, warrior one. Hands down. You can step right to a downward facing dog or move through one more vinyasa. Hold your down dog when you get there. Nice. Everyone looks good. I would tell you if you look bad, if you were wondering. Look forward with your eyes. Slide your right foot forward into a low lunge and just pause. Okay, so the next little bit of the practice, you're gonna really focus on your outer right leg and your foot staying forward. Reach for a block, and you're gonna float from here into a half moon. So straighten out your right leg, right foot grips firm into the mat, hip grips it, and find a position for the block underneath your shoulder. Maybe you need 2 blocks, maybe you need the wall this morning. Left arm can stack. Look up with your eyes. And like we took that modified side plank, we're not gonna lower the leg here, but the same feeling in your body with the lift of that leg. Spark up your left toes and just work on the basics in this posture. Breathe a little bit into the bottom ribs as they turn from right to left towards the sky. And then see if you can lighten your right hand. Maybe come to 3 fingers, 2 fingers. Maybe your bottom hand even comes to a prayer. And if you fall, welcome to the practice. Keep focusing on your right foot, your outer hip gripping. 2 more breaths. Focus on your right foot. The transition is very important. Giant step back here. Stay close to the ground, warrior 2. So you're gonna step right back to a warrior 2. Open up your arms. And then take a second. It's okay. It's your body. It's your real estate to work it out. Stack your hips, your shoulders. Open up your arms nice and wide. Broaden across the upper chest. And then run a lot of energy through your arms. Yeah. Turn your inside of your right thigh open. So you're not dropping this knee in. You're wrapping it open. Back leg's on a nice angle and it's strong. Close your eyes, a few breaths right here. Let your tailbone just drop down. Try not to restrict the body or the breath in the pose. Just let your body go where it's going to go. The same with the mind. Keep a strong lower half of the body. Flip the right palm. Very gentle, reverse the warrior. Left hand softly slides down the back of the thigh. It's not a back bend, it's a side body opening. Just an offering. Reach out of your right hip. There you go. Now keeping the same shape, reach out with your right arm, place it on the inside of your foot. I like a block here, helps me out a lot. Hand on the instep of that foot, left arm up. Yeah. Alternatively, you can rest your arm on your thigh. This works great. Today's practice, you can wrap your left arm forward. You can reach it up. You can slide it around and take a half bind. You can take a full bind if you feel like you're ready to go there, but there's a leaning back of your torso. You're not dumping down. Look over your left shoulder. Twist the bottom ribs. Continue to grip your right hip underneath you. Yeah, there's a hugging of that right hip and glute, isolating right there. Stay with the breath. Sit a little deeper into your front thigh. Feel the weight in your heel. Starts to get a little grimy just now. Breathe. So don't move the shape of the legs at all. Keep everything for a moment. Just unravel the arm if you did something with it. Look down with your eyes, okay? Move the block to the side. Place both hands to the instep of the foot and peel the left heel. Go ahead and just walk the right foot over. Make yourself a little bit more room. Slide the right foot back into plank. Yep, you're back in plank. From here, drop your right forearm down, drop your left forearm down. Pause. You're in forearm plank. This can always be taken with your knees down. Lean onto your right forearm for forearm side plank. Lengthen the left arm up. Right arm can turn in if you need to. It can even go completely in if you need. Lift from your bottom hip. Look up with your eyes. Spark up your toes. You got this. Bottom hip lifts. You got this. Nice work. Look down. Forearm plank, very slow. Back on your forearms. Without the hips wavering too much, right palm goes flat, left palm goes flat plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a clean up dog, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Exhale all the breath out. From here, land your left foot forward into a low lunge. Pause. Someone's actually calling my landline, which is the most bizarrest thing ever. They're probably calling to see if I'm voting and who I'm voting for. Right. Place the block out in front of you. Left hand out in front of you. Float up right here, really deliberate. Focus on your left hip. Move into your half moon. Nice and slow. Lift from your inner thigh, spark up your right toes, and slide the right arm up. Like you started the practice in that side plank, modified, think of the body the same way. Bottom hip has to grip in, inner right thigh has to lift, obliques have to work, and you're stacking your two arms nicely. And then just focus on basic things. Maybe lightening your load, maybe coming to 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger. Maybe the bottom hand comes to prayer. Focus on that outer left hip, keep gripping it in. 2 more. So think of the transition as its own pose. Take very, very tight to the floor. Do it slow. Step back very nicely. Warrior 2. Nice work. Warrior 2. And then take a few breaths to settle in on your warrior 2. Rearrange your feet. Open up your arms nice and wide. Make sure your back toes are turned a little. Side waist nice and long. And then close your eyes. This is an amazing posture. It opens up in so many ways. Allow your body just to slide into it a little bit deeper. Rather than creating more resistance for yourself, let it go and just breathe. Flip the left palm, reverse your warrior. Right hand, it's very soft and light. You're not reaching back very far. You're still diving deep into your front thigh though. Side body from your hip point is stretching. And then reach out in front of you with your left arm with all that space. See if you can find your B variation extended side angle. Inside a foot today. Arm can also rest on the top of the thigh. And then decide what you need with your right arm. Maybe wrapping it forward today and looking over your arm up towards the sky feels good. Maybe creating that reach and a half bind. Maybe the full bind. Remember with the full bind though, if you're all the way down here, this isn't a really good successful pose. Create space, lean back a little. Because your legs are in a hip opener, but your upper body here is in a back bend. Kind of neat. Feel the left foot, feel the right foot too. Grip your left hip, keep twisting your ribs. A few more breaths. I know, we all want to straighten that leg. If you bound your arms or top arm, reach up strong with your right arm first. Then look down. Peel the hands to the instep of the foot, turn the right heel up, widen your stance. You're just kind of this low, tight lunge, almost like you're going to go to a lizard. Plant the palms firm, slide the left foot back into plank. Do that much. Then slowly bring your forearms down. Very slow, so you're using your core. Then find what works with your left arm. Maybe you need to turn it on an angle. Forearm, side plank, right arm up. Your left arm is down unless you think you did the wrong side. Do the opposite of what you did. Lift from your bottom hip, spark up your toes. To work the side body more, you can wrap your arm forward. Another big breath. Look down with your eyes. See if you can make the transition almost seamless. Right forearm down, forearm plank. Left palm firms, right palm firmed, plank. Move your eyes forward, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag yourself through a clean up dog. Press to the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, land your right foot forward again, crescent lunge. Drop your back knee if you need a little extra support. Drag the hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow and twist. Remember, your back leg is like a plank. Yeah, it's really engaged, or your knee can be down. And then focus on your outer right hip. Open up your arms today if it feels good for you. You may have a little bit more opening. And then lean back a tiny bit in this pose. So the crown of your head actually lines up with your left heel. That's what we're looking for. Scissor the outer hips in. Long spine. Look sideways or look up with your eyes. Twist a little deeper. Look down, place both hands to the floor. Slide your right foot to the middle of your mat. Spring your left foot forward. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Slide the hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, turn to the right. Spine is long, weight is in your heels, inner and outer thighs hug in. If lower back is sensitive, just reminding you, split your feet apart. Create about hips width distance. You can always put a soft block in between your thighs too. So open up your arms if you want more. If you want to work into a side crow here, you can. Yes. If not, just stay with me. Weight in your heels. Okay, everyone's legs are probably burning nicely. Keep the shape of your legs. Pull around to chair, look forward with your eyes. Keep your arms really firm, like you're holding something. Press up with your legs to stand and pause with your arms straight up. Take a deep breath in, feel. Take a deep breath out. Keep the arms lifted. Stand on your left leg, hug your right knee in, flex the foot. Good. With the arms lifted like this, start to turn to the right and open up your arms. Yeah, this may be your pose for today. This is great. You can also reach for the outer part of your thigh and take a supported dancing Shiva. Really think about lengthening and staying lifted in your torso. If you'd like to reach down and grab the outer part of your foot, this is the deepest place we'll go for today. So find something that works, lengthen. Standing leg has a soft bend behind it. The leg that's kicking forward also can have as much bend as you need. Soften your right hip, fire up your left thigh. Look back with your eyes. If you grabbed your foot, you're gonna get out the same way you went in. So what I want you to do is just let go of your foot. Arms are gonna be out. Rebend the leg, everybody. With your torso, pull back around, arms up. You're back where you started. Flex the foot strong. Reach up with your arms. Keep the left arm up for me. Slide the right leg back so it's gonna look like this. Right thigh matches up with left thigh, and right heel kind of squeezes in towards your right butt. Reach down and grab your right foot today from the outside, just like this. Reach up strong with your left arm. This may be your spot to get your psoas stretch, and this may be as far as you go. If you want to give a little more energy today, fire up and kick into your hand first. Kick as much as you can. Make sure the hips don't peel open too much. Then start to reach forward with your left arm. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm not looking for like a crazy deep pose. Think about the alignment in your body. Give it a little bit more energy. Yeah, kick a little bit more, reach a little more. Let your right shoulder drop down your back. Come up to stand, release, and just stand still. Just let it go. Sweep the arms out and up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Stay with it, guys. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step, step, or float through your vinyasa. Skip what you need, add on what you need right here. Up dog should feel good. Downward facing dog back. Land your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Big step, crescent lunge. Bring the hands to a prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and turn. Yeah, good. So when you twist here, make sure that you're not twisting into your back, right? You're only twisting with these little ribs. Open up your arms if you want more, just stay as you are. Squeeze your outer hips in. Activate your back leg strong. Lean back a tiny bit so the crown of your head is trying to line up with the back right heel. Stay with it. Two more. I'm having so much fun, I might even forget to pick up my children from school. Stay with the breath. Look down with your eyes. Take both hands to the floor. Pause. Scooch your left foot to the center. Spring your right foot forward. Come to a long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Stay with it. I know there's some leg resistance. Drag the hands to prayer. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow and turn to the left. Open up your arms here. It may feel really good to open. If you're working into side crow, remember chaturanga arms. Weight is on your front arm, the back of your side of your leg. Slide the weight back. Strong, powerful lower half of the body. Engage there. Keep the shape. Pull around to a strong chair. Focus on your legs and your arms. Keep the arms nice and straight. Fire up the sides of your triceps. Press to stand. With your arms up, just pause. Standing on your right leg with your arms really lifted, bend your left leg up, 90-degree angle. This may be the posture here. Start to turn to the left a little, open up your arms. This may be your posture here, strong flex of your left foot. Reach, maybe grab the outer part of your left thigh. You can reach down and grab the outer part of your left foot as well. Yeah. Look back a little. Soften your left hip a little bit. If you grab your foot and your leg is straight, see if you can keep the leg lifted and just open up your arms and keep your leg lifted. Then rebend the legs. Everyone's together. Pull around to torso, bring your arms up. Leg lifted, arms up. Just pause for a second. Keep reaching up with your arms. Slide your left leg back so it matches with your right thigh. Take your left heel, squeeze it like it's going in towards your butt cheek. Keep your right arm up. Drop your left hand. Grab around, grab your left ankle. Kick up and back into your hand, create the back bend, and then start to drop your body a little forward. If you drop down too fast, you're not going to get the back bend. I'd rather you stay really lifted and high and do a little less. Keep the hip point square, anchor your right foot, drive your right arm forward. Little bit more energy. Come up slowly to stand, let it go, feet together. With your hands on your hips, just slide your left foot back 3 feet. Last standing pose, I promise. Walk your right foot to the right. It's all gotta come together somehow. Right hand on hip, left arm up. Come halfway down, come the rest of the way down. So where you put your hand is your choice here. You can go high on the block. Once again, you can create a little situation of building, and you can be really lifted today with your hand on your lower back. You can also have your hand on your shin or your ankle. Find something that works. Keep sliding your hips back though. Nice, really nice, Kristen, looks good. Yeah, your two arms are like side plank. Grip your outer hip in and twist a little bit more. Look down with your eyes. Hands come directly down, a little in front of your shoulders, tense your fingertips, step your left foot forward, hips width distance. Bring your hands on your hips, come the rest of the way up. So feet are hips width distance with your hands on your hips at the top of the mat. Slide your right leg back about 3.5 feet at most, 4 if you're tall. Left hand on hip, right arm slides up. Reach up, a lot of strength from the back leg and the top arm. Come forward halfway and then come the rest of the way down. Hand can just stay on the flat part of your back. Keep directing your hips back. That's the trick with the pose, and anchor through your legs. This pose is the perfect combo of hamstrings, twisting, and heart opening. Steer the hips back, twist a little deeper. One more big breath. Look down with your eyes, place both hands down. From here, just step to a dog. Just step back, down dog. When you get to down dog, roll forward to plank if you want. Bend your elbows in half. Pull yourself through one more up dog right here. Take a strong downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, land your right knee forward, come into half pigeon. Really good practice, guys. Stay with the last little bit here. Fold in half. The best is yet to come. Let your hip just kind of melt open. Use the strength of your body. Push yourself up, okay? Swing your left leg around. It's kind of gonna look like you're going into a separate leg, stretching a tree pose here. Right hand comes behind you. Make sure your wrist faces, your fingers face the back side of your mat. You're gonna press up into sail pose. So your right hand underneath right shoulder, right knee bent, left leg strong, left arm up and back. Sail pose. Press away, look up with your eyes. Start to lower down nice and slow. As your butt hits the ground, bring your right knee forward so it's bent in half and your right knee faces the front edge of your mat. Your left leg bends into Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is called seated spine twist. Left hand behind you at the base of your spine. Make sure your two butt cheeks are down. Hook the elbow and twist. Look over your shoulder. If you're looking for a little bit more of an IT band stretch here, the hand that's twisting the right arm, reach to the outer blade of your foot and extend the leg out. Just make sure you're not dumping back into your lower back. You're nice and upright. Yes, and it's kind of like what we've been doing the whole practice. Lengthen, twist into the upper collarbone, breathe right here. So it's a broadening. Rebend the leg if you extended it. Come around to center. And from here, you're just gonna slide back into a downward facing dog. There's nothing graceful about it. If you need to take a vinyasa, you can. If not, just go right for the other side. Left leg comes forward, half pigeon. And let yourself just go for it. Yeah, if you have the ability to drop down, I'm just staying up because I'm watching all you, but if you can drop down, let your forehead rest. Allow yourself to really enjoy the pose. Great work. Use the strength of your body. Very slowly start to move to the next thing here. You're gonna lean your weight onto your left side. Right leg is gonna swing around. Set your legs up like you're going into a tree pose. But take your hand close to the back side of your low back. Palm faces back. Straighten the right leg, lift up. The left leg is bent in half. The right leg is straight and you're stretching up out of your waist. Little different. Exhale the breath. As you exhale, come out very slow. Lower yourself down. Swing the left leg so it goes directly forward and the leg is bent. Right knee bends. Right hand behind you at the base of your spine. Set up for an Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated spine twist. You can take this very basic, hug the leg in and give your piriformis a stretch, or reach down, grab the outer blade of your foot. When you kick your leg forward, make sure it goes straight forward. Right hand is going to stay very close to me so I don't dump into my low back. Look over the right shoulder, broaden and open up the chest here. One more big breath. On the exhale, the legs straighten, rebend it. Come around to center. If you need to counter stretch, just go the opposite direction for a second. It may feel good. And then come to neutral. Unravel the legs, take the feet flat. Move your blocks with you. 2 back bends to seal the deal here. Lay down on your backs. I find a lot of us just like to take a supported shoulder, supported back bend, a supported bridge. You can slide a block underneath your low back, such as I'm showing right now. Fingertips will drag towards the backs of the heels. This is how you know you have the right alignment. Clasp the hands around the block, puff the chest open. My block right here is on the highest setting, but you can lower it. Turn the thighs under. Keep the feet forward. Feel gripping in of your shoulder blades. That is option 1. Option 2 is to take it without the block. How's everyone look? Yeah, so it's hard to see everyone's feet, but just make sure that your fingertips can kind of skim the backs of your heels. That gives you an idea of alignment. Mhm. And this may be just like perfect for today. It may fill the bill. If you'd like to move on, two options. You can move into a full wheel. You would remove the block for that option, or you can go into supported shoulder stand. So that would be just the legs would lift straight up with your tailbone still in the block. So keep everything as it is, and then your right leg will lift up straight to the sky, and then your left leg will lift straight up to the sky. This is actually really great for flushing out lactic acid. You got it. And then the feet will go straight up, or full wheel. If you're going for a full wheel, you'll flip your palms. Bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in. You'll exhale the breath, come up. The block underneath the lower back is like legs up the wall.
Good. If you went up, start to come out slowly with control. One leg, then the other leg. You can remove the block from underneath you. And then give your knees a giant squeeze in towards your chest. And take a happy baby. Yeah, take a happy baby. This is the goofiest, best pose ever. Grab the outer blades of your feet, pull your knees down around your rib cage. And then hug your knees to your chest. Give them a big squeeze in. And set yourself up for Shavasana. The work is done. It's complete rest at this point. Set yourself up here. If you have blocks, if you have towels, if you have pillows, make yourself as comfortable as you can. Put something over your eyes. Put your bathrobe on. Just let go. Take a big breath in. Take a really loud exhale breath out. Let everything go. Bring your arms up over the top of the head. Reach up out of your body like you're waking up for the first time. Stretch through your toes. Then wrap your arms around the front of your shins and hold in, squeeze in tight. Use the strength of that to push yourself up in any way that feels best, or just stay down if you're comfortable. Sitting up in a seated position with your eyes closed if that's available. Yeah. And I think, aside from feeling like you get a workout, this is more about a work in, right? And just feeling the effects on a neurological difference on our calmness, on our energy level. So important. Thank yourselves for this time. Bow your head. Have some gratitude for yourself. And then we lift our head and open our eyes and we say namaste. Thanks so much, everyone. I'm back at it Saturday, 9:30. This will be the schedule right now. Thanks for joining me.